Hello and welcome to GPTV on Tuesday the 9th of September. My name is Phillip Kingston.
And I'm Gary Peer.
And Gary, it's exciting. We've taken the show out on the road today. We've got out of our illustrious film studios. We've taken it out on the road and we are coming to you today from the offices, these palatial offices of the REA Group, which is the master title, Gary, for realestate.com. So here we are at the realestate.com offices, which is pretty exciting.
And there's a few people here, Phil. 500 people working at this organisation. I don't mind saying that's a pretty good payroll, isn't it?
I've got to tell you, there's people.
But they can afford it.
There's people coming and going. And I've got to tell you, interestingly enough, Gary, as I've looked around this incredible, vibrant team, not one person is in a tie. They're in t-shirts.
Yeah. What's going on your face there? What you got on your face? What is that thing?
Oh, so you've actually noticed that I'm doing GPTV today with Google glasses.
I wondered what was hell. Thought you might be drunk or something. What's going on?
I've got to tell you, I am part today of the future. We've come into the REA headquarters and they've given me a pair of these Google glasses, Gary, which are still embryonic, but this is the future. I predict, or at least the CIO, the Chief Information Officer of REA, has told me in a year or two, everybody in the world is going to be walking around with a pair of these glasses on.
I tell you what, they're running into each other, weren't they? What's going to happen on the roads?
This is actually unbelievable. Whilst I can actually look around, if I look up, there is a little screen.
A little television, isn't there, Phil?
It feels like it's about here. And at the moment, I can do Google searches, I can take photographs of it, I can get into social media, I can bring up my Facebook account. So I could be sitting here, theoretically having a really interesting conversation, challenging as that would be with you, Gary, but I could be actually checking Facebook as I'm actually looking like I'm communicating with you.
Yeah, very good.
So this is the future.
So it's good for boring people. We're talking to boring people. You can just actually watch a movie at the same time.
Whether it's good or bad, Gary, I can't tell you, but this is scarily amazing.
Well, there you go. We're going to have a little bit of a look around realestate.com, perhaps cause a little bit of mayhem here, Phil, but some brilliant minds, but they don't know what REA stands for. Did you notice that?
That was beautiful. We actually asked, what does it stand for?
No one knew that.
Well, it took the Chief Information Officer.
He had to go on
Google to look at it. But Gary, this is a company that started...
He needs the glasses to find out, Phil.
This company started in 1995.
Yes.
And it actually started out of a garage, I believe, in Carnegie.
Was it Carnegie?
Yeah, I think it was.
We should find that house and maybe we could sell it.
I might have just made that up. But in 1995, there was a computer or two in a garage.
Yes.
It's now a $6.5 billion company, which is the leading search engine, the leading portal for real estate in Australia. And here we are, and we're their guests.
We are. It's
They're
a beautiful
putting on a huge show. They've even given us fruit here, Gary.
Absolutely, it's all happening.
Fantastic. They go to no expenses spared to get one of their major clients in, and they've given us some fruit.
They look pretty good, those bananas too. Phil, we need to get into the results of the weekend because there are people that will want to see and understand a bit more about realestate.com. There's no question about that.
Well, we're going to meet up with the CIO, Gary, who's going to show us what the future of looking at real estate is going to be looking like, and it looks pretty amazing.
Well,
let's talk about the weekend.
Let's talk about the current position of real estate, Phil, because we had a very big weekend. We had 12 auctions. We sold 9 out of 12. Let's whip through them very quickly.
You say we sold 9 out of 12, but I reckon by the time this makes people's inboxes, we will have sold 10 out of 12.
You think so?
I think we're negotiating one at the moment, but 9 out of 12 gives us a clearance rate, Gary, of 75%. I think the industry was at 75% today, so those towers are level pegging.
We'll have to accept that, Philip. 18 Alder Street on Saturday did not sell. It was passed in. The reserve on that property is $1,149,000. That is a terrific home.
What a great house.
Somebody will have a great opportunity for that 4-bedroom, beautiful, renovated home in a great location.
Walking distance to the Cafe Life in Glen Huntley Road. Bless you to the REA member that just sneezed on camera behind us.
Could be something happening here, Phil. They might have to quarantine the whole building.
Get into the air conditioning ducts and a bowl of virus is not going to spread through. Quickly shoot that guy.
What's that other one that through the air conditioning that people get? What's it called?
Legionnaires.
Legionnaires, yeah. Let's hope there's no Legionnaires in this building because that'll be the end of realestate.com and it won't matter what REA stands for.
It might be one of the leading portals of spread of virus through this building.
Exactly right. REA will find a new way to bring some life to those initials. Phil, 5 at 13 Lansdowne Road, that was sold for $432,500, but Along Road you beautifully passed in on the weekend.
I did, and that one is currently under negotiation, Gary. Fabulous apartment. So this is still there when this show hits your inbox.
The reserve is $895, Philip. Magnificent apartment.
I love that apartment. I love that building. I love that position.
6 at 192 Alma Road. Phil, I had the pleasure of auctioning that. There were some fireworks there. The reserve was $590,000, but I sold it for $621,500. There were 4 bidders there going Hammer and Tong.
Hammer and
Phil.
Tong, there it goes again.
9B Blackshaw Street, Ormond. You sold that one?
I did, Gary. That was absolutely incredible. That's a street that is positioned between the McKinnon Primary School and the McKinnon High School.
Yes.
So if you buy a property in that zone,
Yep.
you can effectively send your children to government schools that are at the top of the state and save all of that money on private school
Tell us about
fees.
the sale price,
Well,
Phil.
Gary, $1,208,000 in a suburb that only like a year or two ago was struggling to break the $1 million barrier. So that is just thumping.
Daly Street, Elwood, Philip. We sold that before auction for $725,000.
Well done to Daniel Michmacher. Actually, I beg your
Daniel
pardon.
Rees.
Well done to Daniel Rees.
Get your
and
Daniels
Glenn
right.
Bricker.
There's
I know,
a few of them in the
confusing,
office, isn't there? Phil, 886 Glen Huntley Road was a competitive auction. The price, unfortunately, is undisclosed, but never mind, it was a good one. 9 Sidere Avenue.
Leo Samuel.
9 Sidere Avenue, Malvern East. Now, that is our feature auction of the week, and damn it, Phil, the price is undisclosed.
Very disappointing,
We were
Gary.
quoting in excess of $2,200,000, and I
Sold
know
well in excess of
well
that.
in excess.
And what a great day. I mean, it was a beautiful day. In
was.
fact, we'll get a photo up on screen now of the auction because we took some photos.
We did take some shots.
Big
you're
crowd,
right.
about 150 people there, Gary.
Yep.
That would have to be one of the most stunning houses I think
Yes.
we've ever had the opportunity to sell. And viewers, just so we know, Sidere Avenue, Malvern East, there is nowhere our team can't go to set record prices.
Well, in fact, it was our team that made the difference to the end result because it was
Yes.
our lady from our office, Judy
Zhu,
who in fact found the buyer who was
Yep.
actually looking in the Caulfield area and moved them across. So not only did we
Well
have the
done.
locals,
Yep.
but we also had the Caulfield two buyers.
Yes,
from
and I must
Caulfield, yeah.
say it was a fiery auction, Gary. I
was.
don't think the good residents of Malvern East have quite come to terms with the Gary Pier and Associates
No, auction style. No, they won't want the likes of you back there too quickly. I know that one. 7 Khartoum Street, Phil. That one went
Gary,
off.
what a great house that was, and I really love that street. Good sized parcel of land, a really good period home. Is the price disclosed?
No,
Can
it's
I
not.
say the price? Well, I won't say
No,
the
you
price, but
We're moving on.
all I can say, sold well in excess of our quote range, Gary, well over the reserve.
12 Garrel Street. Lots of bidding for that home, Phil. Again, undisclosed. The
Well,
reserve and quote
congratulations.
rise was in that sort of high ones, and it did sell significantly.
Bit of a shout out to the vendors there, Gary. Lovely people that entrust
they are.
us with the sale of
They
their
are.
property.
Lovely
So
couple.
Thank you.
Been
for
there
the
for a long time,
Well,
since the 70s.
I've got to tell you, I'm about to say thank you to that lovely couple. Having said that, they built the house 40 years ago and stayed there for 40 years.
Yeah.
That is
What's
not
that
the
about?
sort of
That's
example
bad
we're looking
sports.
for.
We want you selling every 5
exactly.
years.
You know, do
Better for
not
business.
fall in love with your house
Exactly
and stay
right.
there
It's
for
just
a
bricks and
generation.
mortar. Move on.
You know, we've got expenses.
Exactly
We've got needs. Our families need commissions.
62B Ludbrook Avenue, Philip, that was passed in and sold immediately after auction through a post-auction negotiation. So well done to the party that bought that and to the vendors. A great result there, Phil.
And that's
Nikki
actually
Genova
there's
sold
an
it.
interesting story there, Gary, because we're seeing a bit of this. The vendors who built this development built it specifically because they wanted to live in one side of it. So they've built this 2 townhouse development.
You take those glasses off now.
No,
It's
I
just
like
stunning.
the things that I'm seeing here
You're
is
looking
absolutely
ridiculous
incredible.
now.
I can say to Google, for example, bring up photos of Gary's last birthday party.
Oh, no, don't do that.
There
No,
it
don't
is.
do that. We'll lose you.
Incredible.
That's frightening.
Anyway, I was talking about these 2 townhouses. They built them. They're living in one side, and they've sold the other one
Yes.
off. And that's actually an economically very sound strategy. If you'd like to know more about building 2 townhouses, give me a call. It's something that I specialise in.
And he'll give you somebody's number that knows what they're talking about. Wilgar Street, Philip, that property wasn't sold. It has been passed in, but it is a great opportunity, and we expect that to sell pretty quickly. Phil, the reserve price on that, $769,000.
Seems like
Pick up the phone, ring Leo Samuel, and
Or
get
go on
something
to www.realestate.com.au.
Absolutely.
And you'll find it. It'll just come up miraculously on screen. It's amazing how it's done, but it's a great search engine.
We've got
realestate.com.au. Each time I say it, they send me a special gift.
Is that right?
Well, they're listening.
Right.
Hopefully they
What,
will.
what sort of gift? I'd like to
I
know
don't
a bit more
know,
about that.
a car.
Car's good.
Yeah, a trip.
Overseas trip, we'll take
Yeah.
that. Phil, I would like to talk about the auctions this weekend because we've got 15 of them over, I think, 7 different suburbs. Shall we review?
Well, spring has sprung, Gary, so 15 auctions. That's a mighty weekend. Hopefully the weekend weather is going to be as good as this.
Take those off. You look like
let's-
an idiot.
Let's get stuck into them now.
Okay, let's talk about them. Phil, at 10:30 a.m, Leo Samuel has the pleasure of auctioning a wonderful property on Dandenong Road. This happens to be Unit 4 at 472 Dandenong Road, Caulfield North. Tell us a little
Gary,
about
great
it.
property, 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, 1 car space. Love that position. Walking distance to Glenferrie Road doesn't get any better than that.
Phil, I'm off to Seaview Avenue in Bentley. Now, Bentley is on fire, isn't it, Phil?
It is.
It's come of age and it was undervalued for a long time. Tell us a bit about this home, because I'm auctioning it at 10:30 a.m.
Gary, this is a really typical Bentley property, good sized parcel of land, 743 square metres, a blonde brick kind of 50s stroke 60s house, beautiful inside, original condition. That's just, you can move straight into that and think about how you might further update it as the years go past. They go past quickly, don't they, Gary?
My word, they do, Philip. Phil, you can go back to school in High Street, Prahran. I think you should do that. Tell us a bit about this property that was part of a school, Phil.
Well, Gary, I can tell you a lot of stories about the school because this
you were in the corner there.
This school was a school that I used to actually break into, and this is a true story because I was a boarder at Wesley College,
yes,
and I was a boarder there for 3 years, basically because my parents could not keep me at home any longer. Needed to outsource my education to a boarding house.
Yep.
And I used to go to the school and break into the school. It's now been converted to apartments. This is
the school didn't work too well, did they?
Apartments number 4 at 67 High Street, Prahran. 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 car space, and that's a split level place, and it's fantastic.
At 12:30, Phil, I'm going to be in Hawthorne Road auctioning this terrific semi-detached property. Tell us a little bit about it.
Gary, I love these. 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, off-street car parking for as many as 3 cars, polished timber floorboards, the most incredible garden area, drop-dead gorgeous interior. That should go off.
While I'm there, Phil, at the same time, you're just up the road in Kooyong Road, parallel to me, Philip, at number 464 Kooyong Road. Tell us all about it,
this
please.
is an amazing house, been beautifully rebuilt by the current owners, 4 to 5 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, undercover parking for 2 cars, off-street car parking for more. Picture postcard perfect facade, I would describe that home, Gary, a gorgeous home.
Ross Street, Elswick, Philip, we're auctioning a beautiful weatherboard period home. Ross Street's a little known but terrific and well-positioned street in the heart of Elswick, Philip, just at the back there, near Huntley Road and Horn Street. Tell us a bit about this property.
Walk to the cafes, walk to the classic cinema. This is a brilliantly located property and fantastic accommodation with 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, off-street car parking for 2 cars, renovated throughout. This is a really stylish home.
You're wrapping up Saturday in Sycamore Street, Caulfield South at 1:30. Phil, tell us a little about this terrific property. It looks great.
I am, Gary. I've had a lot to do with this property. This is 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, plenty of off-street car parking there, great floor plan, beautifully renovated throughout, a brick home on a good sized parcel of land, and I really love that pocket. Walk to the park, Princess Park, walk to the shops, walk to the cafes. Doesn't get any better than that address.
Now, a long time ago, Westbury Street was not a particularly great street, but gee, it's evolved and changed and become beautiful, hasn't it, Philip?
Gary,
It's like the
the
Cinderella of real estate.
I could tell you a lot of stories about the time that I was selling real estate in that street in 1986.
You could, but we haven't got time,
and
so
if
move on.
any viewers would like to have a laugh, give me a call. We'll go to the Carlisle Street Wine Bar, we'll have a few drinks, and I will tell you and reveal to you all that happened in some furnished apartments that I was selling in Westbury Street.
That'll do.
2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 car space. That's now one of St Kilda's hotspots.
It is, Phil. On Sunday morning, we're starting off with a property that has had
a lunchtime here, Gary. Look at the comings and goings here. They don't seem to do much work here, do they?
There's lots of walking.
Well, I suppose it's all electronic now.
They're all very fit. There's a reason for that, Phil, because they just keep walking all day.
It's all about fruit.
It must be, Phil. We are starting off in a home that has had so much interest, Phil. This has been a beauty.
This is amazing.
There's going to be lots of numbers.
I've got to tell you, come to this auction, viewers. I welcome you all to this auction at 10:30. This is number 32
We get a coffee down there?
We're going to get, look, I've got to tell you, I've got some exciting stuff planned for this auction. I'm not going to tell you about it, but we're going to be doing...
That scares me.
We're going to have...
I don't like your surprises.
Come to number 32 Cottonhurst Avenue, Caulfield North.
No good can come of it.
We're going to have some serious fun. We're going to have the cameras there. I'm going to do some stuff that I haven't done before. I know he's looking really nervous now, my partner, but come to this auction because it's an incredible house.
Tell us a bit about the house, Phil, not about
Gary,
all the stupid antics. No one cares.
I would suggest everybody goes to our website and clicks on our virtual tour of this property because this property has had over 350 people come and see it. Holger and Holger with the architects. It is a 1960s classic.
You'll be slipping up the road to Harcourt Avenue, Phil, a quality address, and we're auctioning that at 11:30 a.m. Can you tell us a bit about this terrific Spanish Mission style home, Phil? Because no one expects a Spanish Mission style home.
No, they don't. And Spanish Mission is a favourite architectural style of mine. Please don't ask me to explain it because it's complicated, but it's a great street and great accommodation. 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, off-street car parking, undercover for 2 cars. Love this house. Move straight in. Don't spend a cent. Right in the heart of Caulfield.
At 12:30, Phil, we're going to don because his Don is good. At 12:30 we will be there. You'll be auctioning this home, this fantastic contemporary home, Phillip, and has been beautifully presented, improved over the years, offers a great opportunity to get into the Caulfield South Marketplace.
It's also a great court.
It is a great court.
Off Umarella Road in Caulfield South. Walking distance to Mr. Brightside. A bit of a shout out to Mr. Brightside. Hopefully we'll get free lunch there next week with that play.
Tell us a bit about the house, though.
Oh, the house. Yeah. The house is fantastic. The house is 3 bedrooms, 1.5 bathrooms, off-street car parking for 2 cars. That's a great house. And once again, a 60s classic. If you're interested in 60s architecture, no one sells more 60s architecture than the team at Gary Pugh & Associates, and we do it so well.
At 1:30, Phil, you've got a busy Sunday. I think you've got doing all the auctions on Sunday. You're going to be in Jasmine Street at 1:30 p.m.
I'm fit.
It is lucky you're fit. You need to be.
I'm going to have a big carb load on Saturday night, Gary,
you have a couple
and
of
some bananas. I definitely
exactly
will.
Right.
I do have bananas in the car. Great,
is that right?
Great potassium, source of potassium.
You have bananas in your car.
I do, and on a hot summer's day, it's
who has bananas in their car?
Bananas in
my
car,
be a certain
together
type
with
of
nuts, almonds.
211 Jasmine Street. Tell us about this, Phil.
My health and fitness
no,
regime.
we're not interested. 211, we are interested in Jasmine Street. Tell us a little about this.
Love this, great, Gary. It's a great spot. Once again, walking distance to the cafes, shops, and Princess Park. 3 bedrooms, 1.5 bathrooms, a garage, and a second car space. Not a cent to spend. Move straight in and get on with life. Just enjoy the summer months that are coming at you if you buy that house, Gary.
Booran Road, Phillip. You're going to be in Booran Road at 1:30 p.m. on Sunday.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Well, this is we've really enjoyed.
2:30. Beg your pardon.
Enjoyed marketing this property.
Yeah, we have.
4 to 5 bedrooms, 3.5 bathrooms. This is about as luxurious as a town residence goes, and a special shout out to the owners of this property, who are 2 developers that are 2 of the most delightful fellows. And that's important when you buy a property, to know that you're buying it from nice people, because if you have any issues or concerns or want to know how to set the pilot light when it goes out, you'll just give them a call. But that is a magnificent home, Gary. I'm excited to
The curtain will be brought down at 3:30 p.m. at number 23 Halstead Street in Caulfield, Northville, and you are going to be doing the auction there. We shot GPTV there last week.
And
tell us a bit about that.
What a stunning house. But before we do so, before we show the house, I just want to get a shot on camera of you. You look fantastic today. The suit, it's absolutely magnificent.
Yes.
Which a special shout out to the owner of Halstead Street, who has outfitted
got me
Gary
suited up
especially for this occasion.
Yep.
A special shout out to Harley, who owns the company Studio Italia, and Gary Pugh is dressed by Studio Italia. Indeed. And I am often, but just not today. But that house.
How many suits do you have now?
Do you really want to know how many suits I've got?
Because you're not normal. How many suits do you have?
38 suits.
Yeah, that's just
but I am going to New York at the end of the year, Gary, where I will buy about another 10. So we'll get that up. We'll give that 50 a big knock.
It's wasteful, isn't it?
That is
get a life.
That is a great house, Gary. That is Halstead Street, and it is the most magnificent home, complete with swimming pool.
Do you ever
buy that house and get ready for summer.
Do you ever get through them?
Yeah, I do.
38 suits. That's just crazy.
It's not enough. I need more.
Okay, well, that's the wrap for the weekend, Phil, but let's talk about what's going on right here. I think we're just going to jump over to another
Gary,
area.
We're going to get off this couch and we're going to join Nigel, the Chief Information Officer, and we're going to show you
grill him, aren't we,
what's
Phil?
new
Probe him, grill
in
him.
technology. So, Gary, it's very exciting to have Nigel Dalton on the show. Welcome, Nigel.
Thank you very much
For the viewers might like to know that this is the Chief Information Officer for the REA Group, which is, let me just describe him. He's the chief nerd, the chief geek,
if you will,
of this incredible organisation. So the future is really starting with this man, and it's really exciting to be here, Nigel. I met you a couple of years ago and enjoyed hearing you at a conference. But here we are sitting at your table in your organisation with these screens behind us, Google Glasses, and this thing, which I'm almost scared to talk about, but we're going to. Yep. But let's just give us a brief understanding of how you see the future with Google Glasses.
Well, the two are worth differentiating. So we've sort of got an enhancement of reality with this, laying over information on top of the world that you can see, but not interfering with you driving or walking around. So I think this is a tool.
Yeah.
And I think in the world of real estate, this is an amazing tool for an agent who is busy.
Yeah.
Because not having to get the phone out of your pocket, getting messages, being able to visualize things.
So what does a busy agent do with putting that, other than looking stupid like Phillip did? Yeah. What does a busy agent do with that on his head?
Well, the trick will be you can do all of your searching and navigating that you have today, but people will very quickly write apps. So you'll get something that's specific to your agency. If you're getting alerts about prices changing or things happening around the organisation, you don't necessarily want to take the phone out of your pocket. That will just appear in the air in front of you. perhaps a picture of the property as well. So it's a management tool.
You were saying before that these are now going to be made, they're in production, and they're going to be made by Ray-Ban and Oakley.
Correct. So they'll look a lot better than this
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
You looked great in them, but with Ray-Ban you look fantastic.
Fantastic.
So
And they're going to be around $1,000. Is that the mail?
That's the suggested price.
Yep.
They're out at about $1,500 in the US and Dubai and I think the UK now. And it really just remains to be seen what happens from here. I like to talk about these as sort of the transistor radio in 1960, which was not a significant thing. It was a crackly little hard to use technology, and look what became of that in time. And these really are the 1.0 version.
Well, I've got to tell you, viewers, that was really comfortable to wear, and I could see myself, as soon as that comes out, I'd buy a pair, because what I was seeing with that and what I was able to do, and that's obviously fairly low grade. By the time the second and third one comes out, it'll be incredible, but I can see real uses for that. This thing, though, is absolutely incredible. Now, this is a company called Oculus
Rift, and of course owned by Facebook.
Owned by Facebook. Facebook just bought this little company for $3 billion. So talk us through this, because I just
what does this cost? This thing? What's the?
Hang on a second, just so everybody understands what this is. I'm not going to disrupt my hairstyle by pulling this over, but let me just. I've now got these goggles on, and what I'm seeing here is absolutely unbelievable.
Well, what is it? You going to share it with us, or just
no? I'm not going to tell you. I'm just going to say that they look great.
Are they on?
So what we've got here is enhanced or augmented reality. What you have here is virtual reality.
Right. So this is like Total Recall. This is like being back to Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Completely.
He's involved with you guys, isn't he?
He is indeed,
Yeah,
and inspiration for me technically.
Okay, so how's that going to work? Fast forward me here.
We think there's a use in open for inspections.
Right. Okay. So tell us about that.
People running into walls, and I can see.
Well, you might. So we're about simple, efficient, and stress-free, and we think a lot of time is spent on the agent side and on the property seeker side, perhaps looking at things that might not suit them. Your developments, so I was thinking of the Kooyong development, those kind of things. Beautiful photos on your site.
Yes.
What if we could take that to the next level and let people walk through?
Okay. So where would they do that from there?
Well, when they're going to be $350, I think everyone's going to own one.
Right. Right.
So you sit at home, you put those on your head, and you say, I'm going to go to this property now, or you click a button or whatever it is, or you even voice command.
So are you saying, so I can get my head around this, are you saying that essentially, not too far from now, I could be at home, I'm on realestate.com, there I've said it again, realestate.com, and again, and again. You know, we should hear the cash register ring. I could be looking at it and say, okay, there's a property in Kooyong Road, Caulfield North, it's a 2-bedroom apartment, quite like the look of that. I'll now put my goggles on, and I'll actually now walk through that apartment. Is that what you're saying is happening?
I think the scenario is you'll get with your partner and you'll both walk through at the same time, talking about what you like and don't like.
So are you saying I'm going to be sitting there with my partner, and he or she, because we're going to be politically correct, he or she is going to be, we're going to be walking through it together.
Correct, yes. And it's always surprising to learn how few people can conceptualise property.
Absolutely.
A plan from above is not good for half the people's in the world. And then you create photography and beautiful models, but actually having a physical space, which would be blank, pop these on and walk through and around. And in the typical property is maybe 90 square metres. You just need a 90 square metre space.
So this is really a breakthrough in property marketing, let alone entertainment. Cutting edge. That's what Gary Piran Associates is all about.
This is it. Realestate.com. They're all over it, aren't they?
Nigel, really good to talk to you. I've heard you talk before, and I've got to tell you, for a chief information officer, you can actually speak English quite well, and you're forthright. And,
what do you think the others
and articulate. Exactly right. I could actually listen to you talk all afternoon. We must get you in perhaps to the team and get you into a Gary Piran Associates training session.
As they say, yes. As I say in New Zealand, that was choice.
Choice. Well, it's been an interesting GPTV episode for us anyway. We hope you've enjoyed it. We look forward to seeing you next week. I'm Phillip Kingston. Have a great week.
Bye for now. Thanks, Nigel.
Thank you.
Cheers.